Hey there, my name is Angela Manderfeld. I'm a registered dietitian and I specialize in helping people with type 2 diabetes reverse their diabetes. I also work a lot with people who have type 1 diabetes as well. So I've been popping onto YouTube and just answering some frequently asked questions. And so this week I wanted to talk a little bit about a question I commonly get about sugar. And people want to know, well, when I'm looking at labels, how much sugar should be in the food that I'm eating? And I'm going to show you some slides here in a minute so we can compare some food labels. But in women, 24 grams of added sugars is the max. And for men, it's 36 grams of added sugar is the max that you would want to have in a day. So let's take a look at some of these pictures. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So stand by. And what we're going to take a peek at is just some food labels so you can get a better understanding of what we're talking about. So if you look over here, first, let's just look at the center food label. So when we're talking about added sugars, notice under total carbohydrate, it's got dietary fiber, total sugar, and then it says includes 23 grams of added sugars. So these added sugars is what the limit is being placed on. So again, 24 grams, which is equivalent to about 6 teaspoons of sugar a day for women, and 36 grams, which is equivalent to about 9 teaspoons of sugar for men. So that's just kind of to give you a reference point. So that's what we're looking at. So notice how all of these, the dietary fiber, the total sugars, and then even the included sugar is all indented. And all of these numbers are included in the 27 grams, but you're probably thinking, okay, that doesn't add up quite right. Well, sometimes the rounding of it is a little bit off. So it's not something you have to get overly concerned about, but you don't add the added sugars into the total sugars. I know it's confusing. These 23 grams are actually part of the 25 right here. All right, so let's take a look at like a can of pop. So here's an 8-ounce can of soda. Its total sugars is 39, and all of them are considered added sugar. This says original taste, so I don't know if this is just the cane sugar Coca-Cola, but most Cokes have, they use like high fructose corn syrup, or most soda pops have high fructose corn syrup. So that's 39 grams of added sugar. So you can see one pop a day, you definitely have exceeded your total amount of recommended added sugars. I guess recommended isn't a great word because really there's no recommended amount. There's just a recommended number to stay under. Okay, let's look at orange juice over here. So total carbohydrates, 39, total sugars, 33, include 0 added sugar. You're like, what? Well, here's the thing. With juice, the way that it works is they don't necessarily pour any extra sugar into it. So it doesn't count as any added sugars, but still 33 grams of sugar is quite a lot of just to be drinking. Like, to give you a reference point, like probably the most, and everybody's different, so don't quote me on this, but probably the most anyone's going to be eating as far as carbohydrates per meal to really get good blood sugar regulation is maybe 30 to 50-ish. Some people might do less, some people might do a little bit more, but 30 to 50 grams of carbohydrate per meal. Okay, so that's just kind of a reference point. That would be, for most people, about 40% of their calories coming from carbohydrate. And again, we're looking for high quality, high fiber carbs. In this case, there's no fiber in the juice. We would get a lot more fiber if we actually ate the orange, but that's going to take up a total of 39 grams of carbohydrate just by drinking the juice, and you didn't even get to eat anything. So that's going to have a pretty significant impact on blood sugar. All right, so I want to look at one more thing because this is a very common issue that people bring up, and it's yogurt. So I wanted to compare like the Noosa strawberry yogurt to the Yoplait yogurt. And this is regular Yoplait yogurt, doesn't have any artificial sweeteners, neither of them do. This one has about 11 grams of fat, but if we go over here and look at the added sugars, it's 20. So 20 grams of added sugar. So if we come down and look at the ingredients, we see that the added sugar is coming from the fruit puree. So likely the cane sugar, the juice concentrate, the cane sugar, there's more cane sugar down here, and then the wildflower honey. So honeys, sugars, and any concentrated extra juices, those are going to be included in the added sugar section on a food label. So this almost, again, for a woman, if you're aiming for 24 grams of added sugar or less a day, one serving of this Noosa is going to almost cover that. If you come over to the Yoplait, the total sugars is 19, includes 13 grams of added sugars. So you come down here to the label, you can see sugar is the second ingredient. Strawberries, they wouldn't necessarily count that. But so most of it's coming just from pouring extra sugar into the label. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share there. Hopefully that was a little bit helpful. So basically, when you're looking at a food label and you're concerned about the sugar, not only do you want to look at total sugars, but also you want to look at the added sugars, like how much extra sugar has been poured into the product. So here's an experiment, little homework for you. Go to your refrigerator, pull out some milk. Okay, if you look at the milk, there's no added sugar, but there's usually about 12 to 13 grams of carbohydrate per serving. And that's because of the naturally occurring sugar, so lactose. If fruit had a food label, there would be no added sugars because it's all naturally occurring sugar, the fructose. So it's all the extra sugar that's added into the food that we want to be most concerned about. So after you've looked at the added sugars, you can always go down and kind of look at the food label to see where are those added sugars coming from. Is it coming from honey? Is it coming from high fructose corn syrup? Is it coming from cane sugar? But it'll give you an idea of what you're dealing with, and then you can make a more educated and informed decision on if you want to eat or drink that food. So if you have any questions, drop me a message in comments below, and hopefully I can start answering some of your frequently asked questions as well. Take care and have a great day.